Bond.
John Strangways, the station chief of MI6 in Jamaica, is murdered by a trio of assassins known as the Three Blind Mice.
$5 million worth of
Mr. Strangways was cooperating with the CIA on a case involving the disruption of rocket launches from Cape Canaveral by radio jamming.
Massive interference with their Cape Canaveral rockets. They think it comes from the Jamaica area.
Sit down, Mr. Strangways. I have to give it to you.
Sorry, General. My managing director is a creature of habit.
When news of Strangways' disappearance reaches Ed, the head of MI6, he assigns Agent James Bond, named 007, to investigate the case.
Walter PPK, 7.65 mil with a delivery like a brick through a plate glass window.
Well, wherever he was from, news of my arrival leaked. Well,
Yes, I'd like to meet the last people to see Strangways. Fine. Now I'd like to take a look at Strangways' place, Commissioner.
Go on in.
Receipt from Dent Laboratories.
Strangways just vanishing like that? Or is it? Cherchez la femme. That secretary of his was very nice.
During his investigation, Bond happens to see a picture of a sailor named Quarrel.
It's the latest craze. He got the bug about 3 weeks ago and he's been out practically every day.
Your name, Quarrel?
Bond successfully locates Quarrel, finds him really uncooperative.
I thought you might be able to tell me what happened to him.
If you'll excuse me, I got business to tend to. If it ain't my friend, what gets address is mixed.
I do, if the conversation matches it.
Back at the boat, too public. Now, how's about it?
When Bond is about to be bitten by Quarrel and his friend,
Was full of rats of alligators.
Up slowly and face that wall.
Hold it.
they are suddenly interrupted by a strange guy. He reveals himself to be CIA agent Felix Leiter and tells that he's on the same mission and Quarrel is helping him out.
No hard feelings, I hope.
Only a sore hand. Glad to know you, Mr. Bond.
That's Pussfella.
Bond learns from Felix that the CIA successfully traced the radio jamming signal to Jamaica, and Strangways was helping to pinpoint its exact origin.
Look, you were talking about Crab Key. What's so special about it? Why can't we go over
The
there?
island of Crab Key, owned by the reclusive Dr. No, and it is protected by an armed security force.
Crab Key begins to interest me.
Finding a receipt from a local geologist, Professor R.J. Dan, Bond asks about the samples in Crab Key.
He brought some rock samples into me for testing. Convinced they were valuable.
When he claims the samples checked out as normal, James Bond becomes suspicious of him. Right after the meeting, Dan travels to Crab Key to inform Dr. No of Bond's visit.
Sit down.
Under the strict instructions of Dr. No, Dan attempts to kill Bond with a tarantula. Having detected radioactive traces in Quarrel's boat, where Strangway's mineral samples were stored, Bond finally convinces Quarrel to take him to Crab Key. The following day after arrival, Bond meets Honey Ryder, a gorgeous shell diver.
Stay where you are.
I can assure you my intentions are strictly honorable. What's your name? That's all right, he's with me.
Captain, what do you think of that?
That's a high-powered boat.
Stand up and show yourself. Fire!
When Dr. No's soldiers arrive on the island, Bond and Quarrel take Ryder with them and escape into a swamp.
This way.
At nightfall, the group encounters a flame tank, which was widely known as a legendary dragon, which tragically incinerates Quarrel.
The dragon that runs on diesel engine.
Bond and Honey are taken prisoner and decontaminated because of the radiation exposure in the swamp.
Too much for the monitor. 68. It's now clocking 40.
Feet beneath the sea.
$1 million, Mr. Bond.
The pair finally meets with the base's owner, Dr.no,
Unique feat of engineering, if I may say so. I designed it myself.
a Chinese-German criminal scientist who has prosthetic metal hands due to radiation exposure.
Knowledge of radioactivity. I was the unwanted child of a German missionary.
Bond learns that Dr.no was a former member of a Chinese crime tongue until he stole $10 million in gold. Now he works for the secret organization Spectre.
Your power source had our organization.
Dr.no goes on to explain that the radio jamming will disrupt the Project Mercury space launch at Cape Canaveral in hopes of creating a war between the Americans and Russians.
I'm not a fool, so please do not treat me as one.
Prefer the Revenge Department.
I'm a member of Spectre.
Spectre?
Special Executive for Counterintelligence, Terrorism, Revenge, Extortion.
The four great cornerstones of power, headed by the greatest brains in the world.
Criminal brains.
The successful criminal brain is always superior.
World domination. Same old dream.
You persist in trying to provoke me, Mr. Bond. Usually when a man gets in my way. You damaged my organization and my pride. I was curious to see what kind of a man you were. Unfortunately, I misjudged you. You are just a stupid policeman.
When Bond refuses to participate in Spectre's plan, Dr.no has Ryder taken away and Bond imprisoned.
Him up. I haven't finished with him yet.
Bond manages to escape his cell through an air vent. And disguises himself as a worker before infiltrating the base's control center.
From a technical standpoint. This is Burger Control. A check indicates all.
Synchronize radio beam for toppling.
Synchronizing radio beam for toppling. The countdown for the MA7-1
Bond overloads the nuclear reactor just as the American rocket is about to take off.
20 seconds and counting. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hand-to-hand combat ensues between Bond and Dr.no, with the scientist being pushed into the reactor's cooling vat, in which Dr.no ultimately boils to death. It still has making a grip on the metal supports impossible. After Bond finds Honey, the two escape in a boat as the entire lair is about to explode. But their boat runs out of fuel and they drift for a while before found by Ryder and the Coast Guard. Thanks for watching VWYT Global.